lot of plays. They got some stops when they could. They're well coached. They play physical. They're a tough team. Exactly what they thought they were. But like I just told our team, don't lose sight of what they've done for 11 straight weeks. We're one of the only teams that have played 11 games to this point. All the hard work, all the emotion, all the sacrifice, all the dedication to really do what most around the country have not been able to do. And I told them this one game doesn't change anything. Don't point fingers. Don't feel like you're a bad player or a bad team. Just like when you win, you don't think you're a great player, a great team. You just trust the process and you work. And we didn't play well enough to win today. We made some plays. Just give our guys a lot of credit for the fight all the way up into the end. And I'm proud of them. I am. And I told them that. And I'm proud of everything they've accomplished this year in our first year. The foundation is set. The culture is strong. And, hopefully we'll get to play another football game if everything goes well. And I really love that football team. And this one game, like I said, it won't define us this year. They've accomplished way too much, and I'm proud of them. So any questions you guys have, I'll take.
We'll take our first question from Ken with the AP.
Jeff, was it just a matter of the injuries kind of piling up defensively, especially in the secondary? It seemed like maybe they were a little step slower today reacting compared to what they've been this year, where they seem to have good jump.
Yeah, I don't want to make any excuses. We haven't done that all year. The plays were out there to make. We had some guys in there at different positions when Dion got hurt, and then Cam got the targeting call. And but those guys practice. They know what they're doing, and they made some plays on us, and we were right there. We couldn't come down with the interception when I thought we could have had two of them. It looked like we slipped and just fell on those two big touchdown runs. But again, those guys gave everything they had, so I'm not going to make any excuses.
Let's go to Julian in Charlottesville.
What's going on?
Hey, Julian, how you doing, man?
Alive and kicking, man. Trying to stay. I think first things first. Obviously, the one positive COVID test, I jinxed it, I guess. But one, is he okay? And then two, given all the context of everything you guys have done, can you talk about just putting in perspective how you got this far and got the results you got?
Yeah, no, I appreciate the question. Yeah, the one student's fine. He went home for Thanksgiving, contracted the virus at home, and he's still home, and he's doing well. And I'll give him a call when we get back, and hopefully he'll continue to do well. But how were we able to do it? We were able to do it because we have great kids and a great staff. I gave up everything they've had since June 28th. 11 weeks. We played 9 in a row at one point. They gave everything they had, Julian, from giving up some of their social life to not seeing their families to doing everything that we asked them to do. Won a bunch of games, got better, learned how to love each other, learned how to play the game with confidence, learned how to enjoy the game. And just a lot going through my head right now, Julian. It's a special season. That's why I don't want this finale for anybody to think twice or have any negative thoughts. Don't do that. They've accomplished way too much. Harder accomplishments than winning games on the field this group has accomplished. And no one can ever take that away from them.
I think as a follow, this season, there were questions about whether anybody could pull this off, let alone your individual program. It's not, now that it's in the books, the regular season at least, and you don't know what's ahead of you, but is there any way to put into context how you guys were able to do this, whether it was just getting through the travel, the bubble, the practices, whatever it was? This was such an odd season, an odd first season for you. Is there context for it already? Are you still trying to sort it out?
Right now, I'm still trying to sort it out. But our first year, no one ever drew it up like this. No fans, no parents, limited everything. But we made the most of it. And I think one of the reasons, Julian, that we were able to do it because we didn't make excuses and we didn't feel sorry for ourselves. And we all gave it everything that we had. That's why we were able to do it. And like I said, we learned how to do things for each other, which is what Boston College represents, men and women for others. I think we epitomize what that's all about. And I think the whole school gets credit too for the way our whole school, the students, the faculty, everybody handled it. We're probably handling it better than most schools in the entire country. The credit of Father Leahy and the entire school. But I'll probably be able to help you out more tomorrow and answer that question, Julian, just as I kind of decompress a little bit.
Go next to Andy.
Hey, Jeff. Just a gritty performance by Dennis there. What led to starting him today? I know Phil was battling an injury, but what ultimately went to that decision? And then what did you think of Dennis's performance?
Yeah, Phil just wasn't ready to go. Phil, just so everybody, Phil's doing good. Everything looks great. Like I said, x-rays, MRIs. It's just the risk of playing him today. It wasn't worth it. To play in this game and for him to hurt himself and possibly miss a lot of time versus being ready to go if we do play in a bowl game, just wasn't worth it. Plus, you got Dennis, great backup, great leader. I mean, look what he did today. I mean, I haven't even had time, but 520 yards, 4 touchdown passes. I mean, you guys have seen it. He came in against Clemson and made the throw. He came in last week and won us the game, and for 520 yards. I mean, it's a lot of yards. So just a credit to everything he's all about. And just like I said, week after week, hopefully everybody notices that on the team. He's a special kid.
Next question to Kevin.
Hey, Coach, just to kind of piggyback off of that, when did you actually make the decision? Did you know, was it today or over the weekend? When did you actually know?
It was later in the week, just to see how Phil progressed, where he was at, just talking to the doctors and the trainers and him. And ultimately, that's the decision that we made, and it was the right decision. I don't have any doubt about it. It was the right decision not to play him.
Go back to Julian.
I was just thinking about it that this might have been, to my recollection at least, the first time all season that you guys had to deal with kind of the normal things that a lot of programs have dealt with, whether it was one COVID test, but also injuries at key positions. Then injuries to players in the middle of the games at key spots in the secondary. For you, was it like, this is not something we've had to do a lot this year? Or was it like, this feels normal,
You don't really think about it, Julian. When those guys go down in the heat of the moment, especially within the game, you get the next guy in and you have him do the best that he can, and hopefully you coach him up well enough in the week and he's been preparing. But you can't flinch in those situations and, think any differently. You got to coach the game and do the best you can. And I think those guys did. And it's a good lesson that Dennis has provided for the whole team. Have you really prepared the best you can? Are you ready for when your number's called? Because in life, when you get an opportunity, you got to make the most of it. So, but guys can't flinch. We just got to get ready to play with the next guy. And, unfortunately today, it seemed like we had a bunch, but, no, besides that, not much.
We'll hear next from Trevor.
Hey, Jeff. So you guys have obviously dealt with a ton of uncertainty the whole year, and now there's more uncertainty with the bowl, which is kind of ridiculous. I'm sure how has what you've done prepared you for this experience, and just what do you expect from the next couple of weeks as you wait to see?
Well, it's kind of prepared us from when we didn't even know if we'd play the season, or you kind of wait to see if the other team gets a test every week and you're not even sure if you're going to be able to play. You talk about the process all the time, and it's just doing everything you can. And our guys did this week. We had a great week of practice, and sometimes, the results don't show, but if the process is right, which it was, then you can't hang your head. We did the best that we could, and we came up short. And now we got to figure out the schedule, and we will, and we'll adapt and we'll adjust and we'll stick together, but it's all been challenging, man. So we'll see what happens this week, plan it, and then next week plan it, and then see when we get to play another game if the bowl games go on.
Got time for 2 more. We'll start with that with Andy.
We talked about Brennan Armstrong this week, but just such a physical runner, and we saw that today too. What makes it so difficult to bring him down when he runs straight up the middle like that?
I don't know. He's a good player. He made some good plays. We got to wrap him up and drive him backward.
And we'll finish here with Julian.
Just one last question with Dennis. No one's ever going to question his preparation. And obviously you knew what you were getting when you threw him in, right? But did you expect Doug Flutie good? Like, I think he just tied for most yards in school history or something like that.
I'm gonna tell you this, and you probably won't believe me, and I'm just looking at his numbers. There was a lot more yards left out there. I thought our offensive staff did an incredible job. We had guys wide open. all around the fields. We probably had 200 more yards passing out there that we could have hit. Now, credit to Dennis because he got pressured and they blitzed and they blitzed and they blitzed. But think about our offensive staff, what Coach Signetti and them have done. Not only getting Phil ready without playing in 2 years or 3 years since high school, and then getting Dennis ready to go 32 of 46 for 520. And when I tell you guys were open, I mean, they did a great job. They did. And give Dennis credit, but really, really an impressive job. And what a football coach Coach Signetti is.
Thanks a lot, Coach.
Guys, thanks for everything this year. You know, we'll talk to you tomorrow, but you guys have been awesome after every game. You guys have been awesome every single week. I appreciate all you guys. You do a great job. And, you know, I look forward to talking to you again tomorrow.
Travel safe.